Hey, good morning. Guess what I just did? I just recorded a little video segment and I forgot to push the record button. Anyway, it was never going to be the full segment. It was just like hey, I'm going to be working on a segment, but I'll kind of do it over again. Because I'm just that stupid. Anyway, so I did a wait this morning. It's Wednesday morning and it's looking good. Very good. I'm not going to go crazy pre-celebrating. I will be honest, though, that a great deal of the reason that it's good is because my allergies got really bad. The wind was whipping up here, and I guess it whipped up enough stuff. I'm not normally terrible about allergies, but I was pretty terrible with it. And so that got my sinuses going, and then I wear a CPAP machine, which is for sleep apnea. If you know someone, especially if they're overweight and they have really bad snoring, recommend they get checked for sleep apnea. It literally can kill you. You think, oh, it's just noisy snoring. No, it can be much worse. Anyway, the CPAP machine, its purpose is to make sure that I keep breathing at night. And the way that it does that is it constantly blows air up my nose. Which of course, if my nose has got some nasal drip going, that's just going to push the nasal drip into my throat. Makes me cough and everything. And I actually got so concerned that I took even though I had no fever, and even though I was pretty sure I knew the cause, I took a COVID test anyway. It was negative, but I'm not normally overly concerned about COVID, but I thought I might as well be cautious in this case. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is that even though the weight looks good, it was not a great act of willpower on my part. I was feeling lousy because of the sinuses going, and I just didn't eat much. Didn't have an appetite, so it didn't take any great force of will to not eat much. You do need to eat, and if you're sick, you need to be actually extra careful what you eat. You need to make sure you're getting the old chicken soup or vegetable soup, I guess, is good. You need to keep fluids in, preferably fluids that are going to have a good vitamins, etc., in there for you. The weight loss is good. I'll take some credit for it, but most of the credit, I think, just goes to me feeling lousy. And I do have content, which is going to follow immediately after this. I've got some other stuff to do first, but it's something I wanted to do earlier, but I couldn't find the thing I needed, and you'll find out. Anyway, keep up the good work. And if you feel disheartened, get back to the good work. You never have to give up. Giving up is a choice. Don't make that choice. Going forward is a choice. That's the choice you should make. And if you feel bad and you need a day off for yourself, okay, take the time. Your mental health is part of your health. People forget that sometimes. Your mental health is part of your health. All right, I'm back. To you, it was nothing, but I've done a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, what I wanted to do a while ago, after the move, was to start something again, but I couldn't find what I needed. And finally I broke down and just bought a replacement. I know it's somewhere in a box, probably in this closet behind me. But what I have is resistance bands. Now, I may have sounded like I'm anti-exercise, and I'm not anti-exercise. I just think you need to be realistic about exercise and understand what it can and cannot do. And one thing it cannot do, this is the magic box, kind of like an unboxing video, is make you lose weight. Diet is so much more important than exercise for strictly the goal of losing weight. Now, exercise is good for a bunch of things. I'm not going to just exercise. But, sorry, I'm getting out all the goodies and the last part of the goodies. Like walking around the block once a day isn't going to lose you a whole bunch of weight. It really isn't. Eating sensibly, eating lower calories, eating lower carbs, that will have an effect. And again, I'm not an expert. I'm telling you my experience. I'm telling you things that I have learned from doctors and from books, and especially from books recommended by doctors. Anyway, what I have here is a bunch of resistance bands. And silly me had the same ones before. And I didn't realize, of course, you can combine them. So I was using like a 40 and a 30 instead of a 40 plus a 30 and a 10 to make 2 equal 40s. So that's what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to set this up. So we have a 40. Hang on. Of course, it's all... I've managed to get them tangled right out of the box, which is very silly of me. Anyway, why is it so horribly tangled? There we go. So that is... I'm going to get them even more tangled and probably lose them. Anyway, so this is a 40-pound one. So I'm going to... I am in my wheelchair, and what I thought would be good is the wheelchair's got all these wonderful places that I can kind of attach them. Let's see, is that low enough? No, we got to go a little lower. All right, it's going to be, you don't get to see everything because I need it to be close enough so that I can activate the thing. There, oh, that's a good place, yeah. So tuck it under there. All right, so it comes up here. So this is 40 pounds, possibly 80 because it's doubled, I'm not sure. Somebody can figure out the math on that for me. Don't think I need these. No, this is to attach to my, we need these. So we clip this in. Come on, you. Clip, and then clip it in on this one. Clip. All right, so now we have, this needs to be lower. Well, that's annoying. It's not even low enough. So let's see if we got somewhere else even lower I can put it. Not much, is there? Guess it can go there. That's low enough. That better be low enough. All I can say is that I don't have enough hands. Hang on. I don't have enough hands. Hi! This is the awkward part of the video. As we try to figure out how many fingers I can lose in the process. Let's see, is that going to be... All right, that I think is finally going to be close enough to where it needs to be. All right, spin you around. So that is a 40-pound thing doubled, which I'm not sure how the mechanics works. Still, this thing is making it too long. But it really needs to get it under here. Is there a way I can do that? Maybe I'll just hold it in my hand. I won't use the grip is just to sort of hold the thing together, but that's what I can do, like curls. Well, those are good curls. Yeah, good. All right. Right. So that's one way of doing it. And then, of course, we got to find a 30 and a 10 from this tangle of things. What do we have? We don't need the 50. We need, of course, I've grabbed the end that doesn't have the label on it. 50. How come they don't have, that's a 10. And that's a 30. All right. So you want the black plus the green and the yellow. Green and yellow is a 10 and a 30, which in theory makes 40. And again, we're going to double it up. Okay, so I figure I can put them there. Sorry. I can put them through here. Come here, you. Well, that's easier. I don't know why that was easier to do. Maybe because I'm got used to it doing the other way. Is it the same place? It's the same place. Okay. Anyway, so I figure I can find different ways to attach it to the wheelchair to give me different arm exercises. I figure I can do curls from below. I can attach it to the back, and I can do forward punches. I can probably do some lateral lifts. That's probably not too hard to figure out how to attach it. And so the idea is that I'm going to get some arm exercises in. Now these are kind of muscle building exercises, and this is one of the weird ones. Again, based on what I have been how did I do that? Thank you. Encountering in various bits of research. I'm going to put this away so I can just talk for a bit. It's getting tangled up. But cardiovascular exercise is of course, good for your cardiovascular health, your heart and your lungs. And of course, you have to actually be careful of that. If you have problems with your heart and your lungs, you can push yourself too hard. And of course, if you have problems with legs and things, then it's going to not be good for your knees and joints to do a lot of it, because a lot of it tends to be hard on your legs and your knees. Of course, there's nothing saying you can't do bouncy, jumpy stuff like that while sitting. And there are some recommendations for that as well. But this is the weird one. Again, it's from a book. It may be Protein Power. It may be something for life. I can't remember what it's called. These are books recommended by a doctor, and they're written by a doctor. And it has to do with like bodybuilding type exercises, muscle building type exercises. And what happens in those exercises is you are breaking down your muscles, hurting them, like physically tearing them, I guess. And your body then wants to fix it and build it up stronger. In theory, again, that's what your body's supposed to be doing. And get this one hooked up for the punching thing. And that stimulates your, I believe it's your human growth hormone, your own natural body's HGH. Sorry, I've still got that cold, allergy thing going on. All right, can this go? Okay, this is too short. I have to, again, just grab it like that. Anyway, 3D effect. Whoa. That is going to stimulate your body's HGH, which is hormone saying, okay, call in the reserves. We have some muscle damage to repair. Don't overdo it. Don't hurt yourself. But that HGH helps your body call in the reserves. Well, this is the reserves. You want it to call in the reserves. You want your body to get the reserves going, to get the fat turned into energy to be gone out of your body. So bodybuilding type exercises, it needs to be a little lower to get this more effective, but the punch is coming about right. Anyway, so get these things, get some way of physical activity. I mean, do it for all kinds of reasons, but one thing to think about is muscle building activities stimulate hormones that help burn the fat. So, and it's counterintuitive. Oh, you got to go jogging to lose weight. No, you go jogging for cardiovascular health. And they say, oh, well, joggers are skinnier. Well, yeah, they probably started skinnier. There's all kinds of things that studies can get confusing and not include everything. I remember there was something about vegetarians being healthier than non-vegetarians. Well, I think that there's a lot going on there, because if you are making a choice to be a vegetarian, you're being more careful about what you eat. So if you compare people who are being careful about what they eat to people who aren't being careful about what they eat, of course there's going to be a difference. And I think that's part of the jogging thing is people who are making a decision to jog are making other decisions in their life as well. I don't think you'll find someone who is a heavy drinker, a heavy smoker, destroying the all-you-can-eat buffet every Saturday, who also, jogs a mile or so a day. My dad was a jogger. My dad was actually underweight, which is kind of weird, I guess, when you look at me. But yeah, he was kind of addicted to fitness in a sense. He did his little workouts with his weights, not a lot of weight, but it was more an aerobic workout with weights. And he did jogging, he did hiking, and he was underweight. But that's because of the combination of everything that he did. He didn't eat a lot. I think he had the same breakfast every morning, which was like a piece of dry toast and a boiled egg, So yeah, be aware of your decisions. Make the decisions that you can make for good, healthy reasons, and the results will come. And so yeah, it's probably the result of many, many multiple decisions, but just keep punching, punch, 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 punch. Thank you. Now I got to go get this set up properly for real. And then maybe I'll include something when I've got it all set up with both sides. This is a good setup, this punch, but I got to figure out a better one for the curl and then a good one for the lift, because this is not quite, this is a little too high for the lift to work right. So we'll figure it out. But like everything, we figure it out together. I'm glad you're here. And there will be, of course, an update on Saturday. And just keep staying tuned. So, I had a conundrum. And I think I have a solution. But my weight is only as good as my scale, I guess. And I had a good scale. I did an unboxing, high capacity scale. I liked it. The trouble is that it got, I don't know, a month or so ago, maybe a little more. It got banged. Like I got off of it and it like tipped up and slammed down. And the batteries are loose now. And in addition to that, it's not always been reliable. So, like a couple days ago, I weighed myself and it seemed wrong. So I weighed myself again, and I weighed myself a total of 4 times because it kept fluctuating, and it was about a 6-pound fluctuation. Weight, and then rest, and then let it reset itself, and then weigh again. And then I took the batteries out, put the batteries back in, and did it again. So it doesn't seem like it's accurate. And then this morning, just to reconfirm it, I kind of got a bit of a weight with a new scale yesterday. I'll talk about that in a minute. And so I kind of knew that was at night, and I kind of knew roughly I do lose weight overnight, and I had a rough idea what I might lose. I weighed myself this morning, and it was no loss from the weight on the other scale. And then a little later, because I thought I'd do this, I looked up to see if there's any way to reset it, and there supposedly was, but it didn't work. Like, it didn't do what it said it would do, so obviously it was for a different model of scale. But then I weighed myself again, and this is no food consumed, no nothing changed, and I went up a pound, which makes 0 sense. So I can't use that scale. I think something got shaken loose more than just the batteries when it did that flip bang. So I knew this was coming, so I got another scale, which arrived yesterday. The trouble is that the scale that I like is a wide base. This one is a smaller base. It's like 12 inches, which is 30 centimeters. Not easy for me to stand that way, so I'm like wobbling, and it's hard for it to stabilize. So last night I had my daughter kind of read it, and it said it was fluctuating between 469 and 470 point something, 469 something, 470 something. So that's why I knew this morning when the big scale said 470, it had to be, it couldn't be right. It just didn't make sense. So I put it near the shower area because there's like a little wall. I kind of braced myself very slightly on that wall to stop, because I guess I was wobbling back and forth. Just and then a tiny touch on the shower curtain, just the tiniest of touch possible. So yes, some weight may have been transferred to the wall or the shower curtain. I was trying not to. And then I had my daughter do a similar thing, and it didn't change her weight at all. So this morning's weight, and this is going to be how I have to do it, is 467.0. Now, based on what I have eaten this week, that seems probably correct. That's a bit high. It's a 4.8 loss. I would have guessed more like a 4 loss, but 4.8 isn't out of the ballpark. So again, based on what I ate, I think that's definitely accurate. The 470, only 1.8 loss doesn't make sense based on what I ate. And then, of course, the reweigh was up a pound. So unfortunately, switching scales. So the moral of the story is be very careful. Don't bang your scale, because you never know. It's electronics, who knows what I got loosed. I mean, obviously somewhere there's something mechanical to figure out the weight, some kind of compression thing. So I may have moved that a little bit or made it loose, so now it's not as accurate. Anyway, 4670, which means 17 pounds to go to the 450, which is what I'm looking forward to. 451 is technically 100 pounds, but I like 450. It's a nice even number. And that is in a bit more than 4 weeks. So it's doable, but I have to keep on it. I certainly can't have any bad days where I, go eat McDonald's. Nothing wrong with McDonald's. Just the food choices at fast food places tend to be higher calorie, higher carb. And you tend to not make intelligent choices. I'll just have the single hamburger with a diet soda. Well, that's probably not too bad at all. But how many people will go to McDonald's and just get a single hamburger and a diet soda? More power to them if they can. I don't even want to go near the McDonald's, because I know I will leave with at least 2 sandwiches and fries and, of course, a diet soda. But the diet soda, what's the point of a diet soda? I've had all that carbs, all that salt, and a lot of hidden sugar. Like, the sauces have a lot of sugar and everything. Anyway, so yeah, doing good. Keeping punching on the punching straps. I got to rearrange them. I think, you know what? I think I'm being dumb. Sorry, the cat just rubbed against the tripod. I think I'm being dumb. I think instead of using 2 bands, like one for this and one for this, I could just run it around my back. Well, not the back of the wheelchair. I just got to figure out a way to make sure it doesn't just like drop to the ground when I drop them. But then I've got a better way. So we'll figure it out. We will figure it out together. Do you guys have any interesting ways that you're keeping active? I think these resistant bands are a good idea, because you can hook them up places. Now, I think I might have been better off with dumbbells, but then you can't do the resistance this way. How do you do the resistance that way? How do you do the well, I guess you can do that one, but the punching kind of resistance you can't really do. So we'll see. And you know what? Sometimes it just feels good to be active. I can pretend I'm punching Ronald McDonald for trying to sell me a Big Mac. Who knows? Or Burger King, or whoever else there is to punch.